All right, at the beginning of the show, we talked that there should be like this quarter note or eighth note like pulse, but not exactly in time. Again, when the machine's running and it's keeping time, we should get a very, very different sense that the energy's moving forward. So when I said the quarter note or eighth note pulse, as if the quarter note is like jump, 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 jump. So there's time to it, but it slows down. There's retard, or if I'm thinking jump, 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 same kind of idea. So weaker students can do something very simple. If they start here, jump, 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 whatever. But a little bit more complicated, and what I think is going to help add to the effect is if some students, like say someone's here, they're going jump, before they go over, or one arm, one hand, So that kind of idea for the very beginning. The breakdown, same kind of thing. I think the horns stay up, and as they come down, or stay up or whatever, but that everybody's different. It's the same kind of thing. Weaker students could just go, slump over, and I think that slow and fast is the kind of movement that you need. But someone else could take the horn off their face and go, as much variation as you have. So I went forward at first, and then back. I think as a staff, you want to look and see if there are any two students next to each other doing the same thing, kind of the same direction, so you get as much difference as you can. So for the beginning of the show and the breakdown, that kind of pulsation to the body. Again, if you've got 20 people that are not doing all that just because they're not comfortable with their body movement, and they can just do that kind of thing or this kind of thing, I think that would work. The saxophone move, I have another idea for the start of the ballad. When the whole band does that breakdown that I just did at the end of the opener, I'm thinking the form needs to kind of scatter out so that it's more effective when it comes together. So that if my feet are together, I just finish the opener and I'm leaving the horn on my face, and I'm doing this break thing that maybe I've taken a couple of steps before I bend over. That also will allow those saxophones that need to move a lot to get closer to their dots. Kind of fuzzes out the visual image of the field. And then the color guard soloist number 4 needs to get attention to her. So if I'm facing the audience and I'm color guard person number 4, she's the only thing on the field that's not breaking down. So I believe she's got a rifle in her hand. Maybe she does something to make a really large motion to bring attention to herself, and then as everything breaks down, she stops to look at it, still kind of has her body toward the audience, and then comes back this way and looks at the rest of the band, looks over her shoulder, and then that one kid, that one saxophone, the whole band has stopped breaking down, and that one saxophone is still going to her, and that's when she walks over. Obviously, everything is shut down like we talked about. Then as the saxophones move over, we've gotten some a little closer to their dot. The whole band is moving. We're using the 6, 6, 6, and 6 as we talked about on the phone yesterday. I think again, she gestures at that group that came from her left. Those are traveling the furthest. So now the whole band has shut down. The one kid by themselves came over toward her, and again, she's got the rifle in this hand, the other hand doesn't matter. And as the ballad starts, she gestures towards these people like, come with me. And so as she moves this direction, she can either turn over her left shoulder or her right shoulder, gesture for them to come with her. And they slowly come out of whatever pose they're in, and then they start moving. And I think it's, their bodies are still moving slowly, like they're kind of broke. Will allow them to get close. And I talked about the knees being bent. So once they stop, after they've moved for 6, they pause for 6, maybe my body is here, but my knees are bent. Or maybe my body is here, but my knees are bent. So when they do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if she's over here, I'm just standing up with my saxophone and I'm looking at her, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right back to my same position. So when I said knees were bent, that's what I meant. So if this kid is here and his knees are bent, 1, 2, 3, looking at her, 4, 5, 6, and then move on to the dot. Obviously, saxophone's coming from this side, same kind of thing. If I got my left foot forward, and I'm here, and I look at her, up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I go right back to my knees being bent. Just trying to get that change of height, a visual breath, if you will, of everybody bending from one direction, everybody's up looking at her, and everybody goes back to looking away. And then after they've moved for 6, pause for 6 and move again, I think she steps away from them. She takes that rifle and she sweeps. I'm looking at the audience, and she does this, like, come on, everybody, come this direction. And then she can look back at the audience and then leave to the front sideline to her spot. She's gestured for these axons to all kind of congregate in the same place, and then it's interactive. So that's all 4 of the things we've talked about. Hopefully that will help. Thanks.